Tonight we're looking at some terrifying and crazy TikTok trends.
The most dangerous social media trend ever is happening right now. So there's this trend where people are going and finding high places and just hanging from them. They're hanging from windowsills, off of bridges, off of buildings, off of anything tall that they can find. Now, normally when trends like this happen, you see it on the news and there's like one person that did it.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you to all the channel members for support. If you guys like this video, like the video so it gets pushed to more people. It says around 70% of you guys are not subscribing. We're like 25K off of 100K. So if you're seeing this, make sure to subscribe. And also today's pin of doom comes from Purple Haza Blazing. She says, please like and subscribe and follow. Just for that, she gets 3 big let's goes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The worst internet trends to ever exist. Part 1. In 2012, the Cinnamon Challenge took the internet by storm. Thousands of people were uploading videos of them trying to swallow a spoonful of cinnamon, but little did anyone know is that this was extremely dangerous. Most people ended up inhaling the cinnamon instead of swallowing. This could cause an allergic reaction and affect your ability to breathe. Because of this challenge, multiple people ended up passing away. The Blue Whale Challenge was a game that gave people tasks to do within a 50-day period. It would start off innocent, but slowly get more and more disturbing. This would all lead up to the last day where the game would ask the person to unalive themselves. Unfortunately, over 100 people passed away because of this trend.
Dude, I remember the Cinnamon Challenge. That was like one of the most inescapable challenges. It was like everyone was almost doing it. I think that was like what, back in 2015 or 16?
There's like a trend going around where it's like, let's ignore all the celebrities. Have you seen that? Celebrities. Have you seen that?
Nah,
So
I haven't seen it.
This girl went viral on TikTok. She's like, guys, what if we just all get together and just ignore a certain celebrity and just don't comment, don't like on her post, right?
Yeah.
So the first target was Kim Kardashian.
Oh,
Kim Kardashian
shit.
has 4 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Guess how much likes she got on her recent?
How much?
10K.
Damn, so it worked. It
Yeah,
worked.
it worked. And everybody in the comments is like, oh my god, guys, it's working. And on that comment, there's like way more likes than the actual video.
Oh, bro, that's crazy.
So it's like, yo, let's ignore all the celebrities.
You know
now.
what though?
Yeah.
It's really that's a revolution type
That's
of thing.
what I'm saying.
Because you think about it like this, right? Eventually we gave too much attention to some people where it's a monopoly.
Yeah.
Like it's not even fair anymore. You know? And once they reach a certain level, they just reinvest into it, and then nobody else can come back up with them.
Facts.
It's just they want to stay at the top. Everything is attention. That's what I learned. Like literally every single thing is attention.
Yeah.
These are scary challenges that you should never do. Up first is Charlie Charlie. This challenge allows you to talk to a demon and ask it any questions you want. People who played this game said it was the scariest thing that they ever done, and their experience still scares them to this day. Next up is the Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge. This challenge seems very innocent at first, but it can cause some serious damage to your lips. So I don't recommend ever doing this. Next up is the Eraser Challenge. All you do for this challenge is get an eraser and rub it vigorously on your skin. It will then cut you and make you bleed and cause permanent scars. So if you don't want permanent scars, don't do this challenge.
Here are some of the worst trends of 2023. The human race fascinates me every single day. I sometimes cannot even believe we are considered to be the smartest living specimen on this planet. Human beings are fucking stupid. This is why. The breaking bone trend, which is a trend where people would purposely break certain bones on their face to alter their facial structure to make themselves look more handsome. I can't believe my eyes right now. Putting a penny in a plug outlet challenge. If you didn't know, if you were to try to do that, your plug would blow the fuck up. They don't mix well together. It was so bad that people started to do this at their school, and one person lit their school on fire from this. Lastly, the eating Tide Pod challenge. People are still doing this. Hey look, if you ever have to do dumb shit for attention, you're just a clown, because that's what clowns do. Here are some dangerous hand signs that you should know. For your own safety. Around the world, there are general hand signs that everyone abides by. Like for example, this universally means fuck you. And pointing like this, some people consider that rude. Personally, I don't give a fuck. But in the Philippines, because pointing is so rude, they give duck lips as a way to signify pointing wherever they want to point. Here are some of the deadliest internet trends. Off the rip, don't do any of these, don't try any of these. This is for educational purposes, you know the drill. The salt and ice challenge. I actually did this a very long time ago and I had a scar on my hand from how bad it was. I did it when I was 12, but basically it's where you put salt on your hand and you hold onto an ice cube and then you just see how long you can hold onto it for. It gives you frostbite. It was just a dumb internet trend that I don't know why anybody did, myself included. The cinnamon challenge, where you put cinnamon on a spoon and you eat it like ice cream and try to keep the cinnamon in your mouth for as long as possible. A lot of people ended up choking on this, and people ended up from doing this internet challenge. Finally, the hot chip challenge. It's exactly what it sounds. You all know what it is. A bunch of people ended up dying from this. So obviously don't attempt this and be safe out there.
Dude, is that even a fact? Did the people actually die from the hot chip challenge? I'm gonna have to look that up right now. Damn, they said someone actually did die. It says, yes, a 14-year-old kid in Massachusetts died after participating in the one chip challenge in September 23. But he had an underlying condition. The autopsy said he had a congenital heart defect and an enlarged heart combined with the extreme chip is believed to cause his death. So, yep, someone in fact did end up dying. That's really sad.
Most disturbing internet trends you'll be glad were left in the past. Firstly, we have the Blue Whale Challenge. It was an online game which would give people tasks to do in a 50-day period. And these tasks would start off innocent and slowly get more gruesome until the last day where it asked the person to take their life. Unfortunately, over 100 people died because of this trend. This was nothing to be played with. Next, we have subway surfing. And no, I'm not talking about the game, but people actually subway surfing, and I think we can all understand why this is a bad idea. Now we have the ice cream trend, when people would get a carton of ice cream, lick it, and put it back. Now this is just totally unsanitary and messed up. And finally we have the Kylie Jenner lip challenge, when people would suck on bottles and jars to make their lips look like Kylie Jenner. However, this left some people with their lips permanently scarred.
These are the deadliest TikTok trends to ever exist, part 5. Up first is the tooth filling challenge. In this challenge, people rub their teeth extremely hard with a nail file. And as you could assume, this is not good for your teeth. Dentists and dental students had to explain why this challenge was so dangerous. People who did this challenge completely destroyed their tooth enamel and damaged their teeth beyond repair. This challenge is completely stupid, and who in their right mind would grind their teeth with a nail file?
This is the meanest trend on TikTok. So the trend starts out with the picture of a random person. Now the random person is always someone that people consider to be unattractive. Then you show a picture or video of yourself in the second part. Now the second part is supposed to be your glow up. Now because the first picture is a random person, a lot of people feel like this trend is very mean. Basically, people are saying it's wrong to compare yourself to a random stranger that has no say as to whether or not they're in your video, and then say that you're like the better looking version of them. What do y'all think about this?
What's the most dangerous trend? The blackout challenge. It's where you hold your breath or have somebody choke you out until you literally black out, which would often result in heart attacks, brain damage, or even death.
The dumbest TikTok trends to ever exist. There was a trend where some fitness influencers were eating dog food for the extra protein. Yes, eating dog food. Now, eating dog food can give you a little thing called foodborne illness, which can cause a variety of symptoms like death. There was a trend in Indonesia where people were eating candy covered in liquid nitrogen. Now, this candy normally would be safe to eat once the liquid nitrogen burns off, but people weren't exactly doing that. Yeah, liquid nitrogen, not a safe thing to put in your body. After 25 kids ended up in the hospital, the government had to step in and tell people not to do this shit. For the Borg trend, people made gallon-sized alcoholic drinks to help them get blackout wasted. And people overdid it so goddamn hard. You know, alcohol poisoning? Yeah, that kind of exists. Oh, and surprise, surprise, over 50 college students ended up in the hospital trying this shit.
The top 5 most dangerous TikTok trends to ever exist. Number 5 is the Benadryl challenge. The Benadryl challenge consisted of taking a bunch of Benadryl until you hallucinate. How dumb are people, really? I mean, come on. And you know what? I take a normal amount of Benadryl, and the next morning, I don't even know who I am, so I can't even imagine how these people felt if they lived through this. Number 4 is the penny challenge. The penny challenge was this bright idea to stick a penny in between where the phone is charging and an electrical socket, and it created sparks. Big surprise there, Benjamin Franklin. You figured it out. You stick metal in the electric socket, it's going to cause a spark to come out, idiots. Number 3 is the not wearing a seatbelt on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm terrified of this ride as is with the safety harness on. So to go on there without a safety belt and to film myself flopping, flying up and down on the ride sounds like a dumbass idea. Number 2 is the Skull Crusher Challenge. The Skull Crusher Challenge consisted of 2 assholes standing on either side of an ignoramus. And they'd have the ignoramus jump in the air, and then they'd kick their legs out from under them and have them fall on their head. How rude is that? If I ever woke up from that, there'd be hell to pay for those assholes. If you like my list and want more lists about other nonsense, follow me. Leave me a comment with the most dangerous TikTok trend you've heard of. And number 1 speaks for itself, the blackout challenge.
Yo, that guy was lethal. He was not holding back. He said the ignoramus. The 2 in between the ignorant. That's hilarious, bro. Shout outs to that dude.
The ice cream licking trend has returned. A new video has surfaced of a young man opening the ice cream, licking it, closing it, and placing it back in the refrigerator for someone to come and purchase it. I don't know about you, but me personally, I wouldn't want to buy an ice cream toda lambida pa la chingada, ¿verdad? In the video, you can also see he gets his 2 fingers, dips it in, and one final lick. I don't know if you guys remember, but this was a trend about a year ago or 2, and everybody was doing it. They were posting the videos of them licking the ice cream and putting it back. A lot of people got charged and arrested. Make sure that when you go buy ice cream, that the lid is not too open, there's no fingerprints, double check. You know, like this, double check. And make sure that your ice cream doesn't look like this.
Please don't start this trend back up again.
Let me tell you something. Alright, hurry up, put it back. Hurry up, put it back. Come on, let's run.
These are the deadliest TikTok trends to ever exist, part 2. Up first is the Cha-Cha Slide Challenge. In this challenge, people would drive to the song The Cha-Cha Slide, and whenever the song went to the left or to the right, you would basically swerve your car in that direction. And a lot of people would just swerve into oncoming traffic. The amount of people that got into a car crash doing this challenge is absolutely crazy. And the fact that people actually did this makes no sense. Next up is the Tide Pod Challenge. Everybody remembers this challenge, and it was definitely one of the deadliest. In this challenge, people would just eat Tide Pods, which, as you could assume, isn't healthy for you. And as of right now, 8 people have died from doing this challenge. So whatever you do, never eat a Tide Pod.
I think I could say for humans being one of the smartest creatures on this planet, we sure do some stupid things.
I was just sitting here thinking about the worst trends that I've seen, and it had to have been the devious licks. When I was in high school, if you had a nice bag and you left it unattended, it's getting snatched. People were taking school supplies, shoes, clothes. These motherfuckers here! Niggas stole a hand sanitizer machine. The toilet? You ain't got a toilet at the crib? The bathroom stall door. You tell me, what the are you doing with that? Coming up on Chromebooks, crazy. Fire extinguishers, what? The fire alarm. Now you're just putting everybody in danger. And I gotta give a warning, do not do this shit, bro. This trend was so terrible. Like, I seen superintendents on the verge of tears. Hella videos, they getting on the intercom talking about, we can't afford this shit. Stop, like, you crazy. This trend was so terrible, it's banned. Try to search it up, you'll get the same message. Motherfucker couldn't go outside, play catch, ride a bike. No, let's just hit a lick on the school sinks. Never in all of my school years did I have the urge to take the paper towel dispenser. Like, y'all were tweaking.
Tell me why I remember that challenge. At the time, I was still in high school. It was after COVID, and I literally remember, like, people would go in, break things, take things. Like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, my school, personally, we didn't do it that much. But, like, I just remember seeing videos online. I'm like, yo, why are people taking sinks? Like, do you need a sink for your house, bro?
I really thought people were going to let this trend slide. So a bunch of white girls on TikTok are currently doing this trend where they'll take a picture of themselves and then use AI on the picture. And the first picture will be captioned something like, we're just two white girls or whatever. And then the second one will be something like, but we were born to be two Indian men. Now this trend started going really viral. A lot of people started doing it. And a lot of people that saw the trend in the comments actually started getting upset by it. But the white girls, they didn't care. They just kept posting the videos. I don't know why I said it like that. Now it eventually got to the point where a lot of people in the Indian community on TikTok started seeing the videos, and instead of telling the white girls to stop, they basically said, hey, if we can't beat them, let's join them. So they started doing their own version of the trend where they go from being Indian to being blonde and white. Now, after a lot of the white girls saw this, they got very upset with this reversal of the trend. Basically, they're saying like, hey, you can't do this to us, even though you did it to them. And now there's just a bunch of terrible comments on both sides of this trend with people trying to defend like whichever side they associate with. Now look, I don't think the comments on either side are necessarily okay because people are being terrible on both sides. But you shouldn't get upset with people doing stuff like this when you start out by doing stuff like this. The most dangerous social media trend ever is happening right now. So there's this trend where people are going and finding high places and just hanging from them. They're hanging from windowsills, off of bridges, off of buildings, off of anything tall that they can find. Now, normally when trends like this happen, you see it on the news and there's like one person that did it, kind of like that kid that did that thing with the butterfly wings. But this trend is different because there are hundreds, if not thousands of people that are currently participating in it right now. And there have already been actual reported injuries from this trend. So far, what I found is one girl who did the trend actually fell while doing it and had to go to the hospital from that fall. Apparently, she was that high up. Now, people keep doing this trend. There's just going to be more and more injuries. And this is the type of trend that if you get an injury from it, you're either going to be in the hospital or pass away.
This may be the worst trend in all of TikTok history. Trust me, I know that's a very bold thing to say. We've had a lot of bad TikTok trends over the years, but I think this one takes the cake. So for those of you that have not seen this trend yet, basically what people are doing is they are opening up a water bottle like this person right here behind me, and then putting the water bottle in front of their cat to make it seem like they're going to give their cat some water. Naturally, of course, cats are going to be curious. They're going to inspect the water bottle and, try to actually drink some of the water. And when they are about to do this, like this cat right here behind me, the person holding the water bottle decides to squeeze the water bottle, causing water to go all over the cat. Now, I don't want to show what happens, but you obviously could guess what happens. The cat just, freaks out because water just went all over them, And this is exactly how a cat loses trust in their owner. I feel like anyone partaking in this trend is just not a very good pet owner, and just so much could go wrong, especially, a cat being so small with small noses. So once again, I think this is the worst trend in TikTok history. If you partake in this trend, shame on you. I would never do something like this to my cats. I actually love them. I'm curious to know your thoughts about all this.
I mean, I don't know who's going to like my thoughts on this, but like me personally, that's definitely not the worst TikTok trend. Like we just saw like a list of some crazy trends. That was low-key like one of the, not sweetest, but like one of the like the lighter trends.
Wow, I feel violated right now.
I did grab his butt. I'm single. And I couldn't help it. He was just so delicious. So little. Just.
We have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms. Answer, Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay, imagine that.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad. Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening to at the moment, Justin?
Explain this to me. Is that a new tattoo?
This is a new tattoo.
Oh God, how many do you have?
I have just a couple.
Well, tell me that's the last one.
It might be.
No, it is. You don't. I mean, honestly.
So I got believe.
Hey, this is brand new.
But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream, and we're gonna go full buck full crazy.
I do remember there was a time where like the media was like always just obsessed with Justin Bieber. Like, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you're just like young and successful.
Alright, we got the worst trends to ever exist. These are things people do every single day that we gotta stop. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's go. Alright, first we got sagging. Bro, why do dudes, grown ass men over the age of 20, walk around places with their butt out? What are you doing, bro? Is this a signal? You want me to do something about this, bro? Cause I know a couple. Hey, but for real though, y'all gotta stop walking around with y'all ass out. Y'all are grown ass men, bro. What is the point of flexing your booty cheeks? Stop flexing your butt cheeks, bro. All right, now we got the believing in astrology. I know it might not be a trend, but can we stop? Let's just stop, bro. We can all just agree on this video. Let's stop. It don't matter if I'm born in March. That don't mean I'm mad. Oh, I'm an Aries, so now you're generally mad. Now you making me mad. I ain't gonna lie. And we got this era, the Lil Pump era, the worst era of music of all time.
Here's a summary of why Diddy was arrested and some other disturbing things all in 60 seconds. He was arrested for abusing and coercing women and men into fulfilling his desires. He would force them to do things that they didn't want to do and record all of it. Now, over 50 people have come forward and talked about it, one being his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. Now, there is a video of him abusing her, and she said over 10 years she was trafficked, abused, and R-worded by him multiple times. Then there's Lee Cardello Smith, who was allegedly spiked by Diddy and then R-worded. He also said that Diddy had sex trafficking parties with illegal substances and underage girls. Jada Smith sent her son Jaden Smith to live with Diddy, knowing what was going on in that house. They found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and over 700 used toys. Diddy's mom was allegedly part of these freak-offs, and there's even a video of them kissing while getting IV drips. Diddy also has a 50-foot bed in his garden. Multiple celebrities were seen at his party, and if you want to see who those are, check out my previous video.
This man has spent the last 2 years building an entire town for his pets, and it will blow your mind. It all started with an apartment for his Shiba Inu and cats, but when people saw the excruciating level of detail that Jing put into it, it went viral. I mean, it is so realistic that it makes it look like the cat is the thing that's fake. Bro, he even created an underground den for his hamster, and then inside that, another even smaller room for his spider. What the hell? And so naturally, people wanted more. So, Jing started building more, like an elevator, a mini robo-vacuum, a gaming room complete with a sneaker collection, figurines, and model cars. And yes, this apartment even has running water. He then spent the next 2 months building an underground parking garage for his pets and even added cameras and put Shiba-san as the head of security. But you know what his pets really needed after that? A seaside retreat to get away from the city. So bro built them an entire private island. Not that kind of island. It took him over a month to build, and it comes with real flowing water, a painted horizon, and is themed on how to train your dragon. And thinking a private island was probably a good place to stop, he then finds out that Ting Hao was pregnant with 7 kittens. And so he suddenly realized this apartment wasn't big enough for a growing family. So naturally, he started building an entire town. Over the months, he built his pets a spa, a supermarket, yes, with real meat, a bank, a cinema, which took him another 2 months to build because he had to 3D print over 1,000 separate parts. He built them a billiards club, a Meow Donald's, and even copped his hamster a cyber quad and his cats a Cybertruck. But by far, the biggest addition to Cat Town was the working subway station. This took Jing over 4 months to build, and some of the most challenging parts was figuring out how to open the train doors and platform doors simultaneously, and also how to create a working escalator. But of course, he achieved both of them beautifully, and today, Cat Town has affordable transportation. Now, the biggest question he gets asked all the time is why? Why spend all this time and money on your pets like this? Well, he said that it started just as a fun little idea to attract more customers to his wife's pet store, which she recently opened. But then it just spiraled out of control because he loves what he does and it makes his son happy.
Dude, I hope to God somebody is paying him for all that, because it definitely took him like almost probably 2 years to fully make all that. I mean, he did have a YouTube plaque, so he probably just like, you know what I'm saying, post videos about it, which I hope he did. And that's actually kind of crazy. That video wasn't really like a TikTok trend, but I saw that earlier and I was like, yo, that's actually kind of crazy. So I was like, I'm just gonna throw it in the video, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you all for watching.